everybody, it's your pal Muley here, yeah! And I'm ready to read you another book. Anybody have any suggestions out there?
Hey Muley! It's me, Steve the Monster, your pal in Knoxville, on the other side of Tennessee, yeah. And you know, we really don't get a whole lot of snow here in Tennessee, do we? No, so I was thinking, you know what? I think I'd really like to hear the story about Snow White. I mean, that just sounds so, fanciful and, exciting. So, do you think you could tell us that story?
Well, as a matter of fact, Steve, I actually have the book right here. This is a story of Snow White. And I'll post up pictures here too so you can read along with me while I tell you the story. Are you ready? Well, let's begin now. The storyteller presents Snow White. Design and illustrations by Rex Irvine and Judy Clark. Published in 1973 by Super Scope. That's an old book. Once upon a time in a faraway kingdom there lived a beautiful queen. She sat by the open window one day and looked out over the snow. She was sewing and cut her finger and a drop of blood fell on the white snow. When I have a daughter, I wish for her to have lips as red as blood, skin as white as snow, and hair as black as a raven. Because that's what you say when you cut your finger. Soon thereafter, a baby girl was born and she named her Snow White. Alas, the young queen did not recover after her baby was born. The king was very sad. He had to look for another queen to help him rule the kingdom. After many years of searching, the king married a new queen. She was quite beautiful, but very selfish. She made Snow White do all the hard work and she spent many hours in her room trying to make herself more beautiful. She had an enchanted mirror which would always answer her questions truthfully. Magic mirror, mirror dear, who's the loveliest lady here? Dearest queen, brightest star, you are the most beautiful by far. The years passed and Snow White became a very beautiful young lady. Her dead mother's wish had come true. This is kind of dark. Then one sunny morning, when the queen asked the mirror who was the loveliest, the mirror replied, Dearest queen, I tell you true, Snow White is much lovelier than you. This made the queen very angry. At once she began to plan to do away with Snow White. She called one of the servants, take Snow White into the woods and put her to death. But this is a kid's book? But your majesty. Yes, your majesty. The servant took Snow White deep into the forest, but he loved his little princess so much that he decided to disobey the queen and let Snow White go. Little princess, I cannot harm you. You must flee far away from here, or the queen will surely find you. Snow White nodded gratefully. Thank you, kind servant. I will never forget you. The servant went back to the castle and told the queen that Snow White was dead. Meanwhile, Snow White wandered through the forest. The birds and animals were trying to be friendly to her, but she was so afraid of the trees that seemed to be trying to catch her that she started running as fast as she could. Suddenly, she came to a clearing in the woods, and there stood a pretty little house. It was so small that when Snow White tried to go inside, she had to bend down to get through the door. Dear girl, please... Well, it looks like I'm missing some pages out of this book here. So, to fill in for those pages that are missing, so Snow White goes in and she bends down to get through the door. Well, along come the 7 dwarves, and the 7 dwarves warn her, hey, Snow White, lady, look, you cleaned up our house. We're real thankful for that and all. But just to be honest, you know, we found out that the evil queen, she's out here trying to find you because she's wanting to do away with you so she can be the prettiest in the land. So, they make Snow White promise to not open the door for any strangers at all, and especially the queen, and to just stay put inside the house and not do anything silly. But the queen is also a witch, but a wicked one, not a nice one. And she turns herself into this old lady, like a really mean-looking old lady, and she poisons an apple. And her intention is to take that apple over and give it to Snow White to put her to sleep. Yeah. So the queen... the old witch, the wicked witch queen, evil queen lady, she finds the house and she goes up, she knocks on the door, Snow White answers and she says, Dear girl, please let me in and give an old woman a drink of water. I feel very faint. Snow White was so kind that she forgot all about the warnings the dwarfs had given her. She opened the door and gave the woman a glass of water. "Thank you, my dear, and here is a nice apple for you." "Oh, but I shouldn't." "Nonsense, my dear, it will taste good." Suddenly, the birds flew all around the old woman trying to chase her away, but Snow White did not understand their warning. She shooed them away and bit into the apple. At that moment, she fell to the floor as if she were dead. All that anyone could hear was the cackle of the old woman's laugh. "I did it!" The dwarfs were warned by the forest animals and birds that something was wrong, and they rushed home and found Snow White. Being unable to wake her, they made her a glass case, put her in it, and surrounded it with flowers. The poor little men cried now that their lovely Snow White was no longer with them. One day, a handsome prince rode through the forest on a white horse. He came upon the little men and their Snow White, who was lying there as beautiful as ever. Tearfully, the dwarfs told the prince the story of Snow White. The prince was sad, but thought her so beautiful that he lifted the lid of the glass case and gently kissed her. Ugh. All at once, Snow White opened her eyes and smiled. Everyone was so happy. The prince asked the oldest dwarf, "May I please marry your beautiful Snow White? You are all welcome to live in my land and come to the wedding. If you love her, your highness, and we know you do, because we just met you, because you awakened her with your kiss, you may have her hand in marriage." All the dwarfs cheered, "Hooray!" The prince lifted Snow White on his horse, and they rode off to his kingdom and lived happily ever after. All right, well, that's the story of Snow White.
Wait a minute. So, Snow White is a person?
Sorry, I think the story is so old, she's not even a person anymore.
Oh, interesting plot twist.
Join me again next time when Muley Reads brings you another great story. Yeah, see you soon. Mwah.